Welcome to the No Name REI podcast with your host, Aaron Bihl. I got a little bonus episode for today. So, I had quite a few questions come in on, things people, would like to see discussed on the show. And this one's just going to be, more tactical. And as these kind of come in, I'll probably try to do more of these because honestly, I think it's a lot of fun. But I had someone ask, which I know a few people that kind of fit this bill of like, hey, I'm looking for, an industrial, space that I can turn into a gym, a CrossFit gym, something like that sort of thing. So I know, a handful of people are kind of looking for that, specifically in the San Antonio area, and, have occasionally asked me about it and, just never really got that into it. So I thought this would be fun to, kind of go through, hey, if I'm looking for, land in this area or, an industrial property or a warehouse or a duplex for my family or even a house that I want to buy off market, how would I do that? And I'm going to try to, take this from an approach from someone who, make this so anyone can do it, even if you don't have, an extensive background in, off-market real estate. So this will be on YouTube. I'm going to start putting all these on there, but this one especially, because I'm sharing my screen. I'll try to talk through that if people are listening too, just so, hopefully it makes sense as well, in the audio format. But wanted to jump in. So kind of the task is I want to buy, an industrial space in San Antonio. So the first thing that we need to do is we need to find data and a few different sources. And I'll talk about what I like about each of them and price and all that stuff. So if we're looking for residential property, the three that I would use are PropStream, Deal Machine, or PropWire. I probably like PropStream the most, and then I would say probably Deal Machine, and then probably PropWire. PropStream's like $100 a month. Deal Machine's like, they may have one that's cheaper than $100 a month. I think it's $100 a month, but PropWire is free. So if you're trying to do this on a budget, I just always say, hey, do PropWire. A lot of their data information, is similar, but it's free. They have different. You'll find there's kind of different ways they calculate different things. So if you try to pull the same exact, hey, I want a single family house in this zip code, they might be slightly different based on equity filters, all that stuff. So, but essentially how all these tools work, which I will just show you on Deal Machine, but they're all kind of similar. So I would go in here and it's going to bring up this map. I'm just going to say, Bexar County, and then pretty much all of these are going to, it's going to populate pretty much every address in Bexar County, and then you are going to filter down. So, maybe instead of Bexar County, I just want to be in 78230. So I'm going to do that, and hey, I only wanted to be in this zip code. And for this example, so it has all these filters. You can keep it as basic as, hey, I want to buy, multifamily. So I want to look at, only multifamily. I want to kind of reach out to every duplex, right? There's not that many, so only 94 in this 78230. So the way I kind of do this as, depending on how big of an area I'm marketing to, I'll go in and add other filters that kind of narrow down that list to make it more manageable. 94 is like absolutely nothing, so I wouldn't touch that. If I was going to market to that, I would market to all of them. But if you would have returned 15, 20,000, that's when I would go in. And you can just start kind of filtering this. And the way I do it is kind of reverse engineering. So, I always want to make sure they have enough equity to sell it to me at a discount. So I'll put in an equity filter, and then I may add in, other things that may, make them more motivated to sell. So I might add a length of ownership. Hey, I don't want to, talk to anyone who's not owned this at least 10 years. I may add other kind of pain points of, it's, distressed in what way, or it's a pre-foreclosure, all these different things, right? All these tools kind of function that way. They all have the ability to, kind of filter down on different physical characteristics of the property, but also some, kind of characteristics of the owners. So that's where I would start. Since this is, they're looking for an industrial property, I'm going to go a completely different route. So some of these tools like the, PropStreams, PropWires, Deal Machine, all of those, they have some of that stuff, but their data is just not as good. And then kind of the gold standard for that is going to be Reonomy. So let's show you that. So Reonomy is kind of like a PropStream or Deal Machine or any other data tool, but for commercial property. It's very easy to use. It's stupid expensive. If you're doing anything commercial, industrial, you just kind of need it though. But it's like $500 a month. Wouldn't recommend it if you're not going to use it. And then, cool. So for this specific one, let's do this. I already started to play with some of these filters, but I'll undo it just so anyone can see. So I'm going to start with putting in the 2 counties where, I think people are probably looking for these, right? So Kendall and Bexar County. So that is the, and I actually went in and drew a boundary here of kind of the northwest side of San Antonio up into Bernie, which is like Kendall County. So then I'm going to go in and, try to figure out kind of how we can, find potential properties that may fit the bill, right? So on this, we could try general commercial. I don't know what that's going to entail. Some of these descriptions are kind of off too. We'll go general industrial, light industrial. There's a lot of things that kind of encompass that where you may get some weird stuff you don't want. Warehouse is probably the big one. So we have 4,000 properties. Inevitably, some of these are going to not be what we're looking for, but you can do anything from, car washes, shopping centers, bars, restaurants, whatever. This is kind of what I think, we are looking for. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this commercial because I just don't think that's it. And then let's go commercial vacant land 2. So this brings us 3,677 properties. Not a bad place to start. Let's add a few more filters to, kind of get this to be what we want. Okay, so for this specifically, I would go on owners. We're going to do people, not companies. Let's see. Okay, so we have our general industrial, light industrial, warehouse list. And then let's go to we want to make sure it is the size we need it to. So let's go probably a minimum of building area, probably a minimum of 5,000 square feet. Ownership, actually we're going to not do person. We're just going to do a max of 10 properties. Because a lot of times that's going to indicate more kind of mom and pop type owners. Let's a few other things. I want to put on. So we want something that they've owned for at least 5 years. Okay, let's see what this brings us to. This is super small, so 251 properties. Let's actually go add some more stuff in here. So let's go back and do that general commercial. Okay. Okay, so this is still a really small list. And then, so we have 329 properties. And then from here, which I guess I don't really need to share this anymore. We have a few different options, right? You can, and it depends, right? I think I really like mail, but mailing this is going to cost you probably, I don't know, $500 or $600. I'm really big now on cold calling, as I've kind of built out a cold calling team. So if you go that route, and honestly, I've gotten better responses from more commercial industrial stuff than residential properties. You seem to get owners that are more professional, more kind of business owners, business minded, and they're willing to have conversations. And a lot of these people have owned these properties forever, so they're willing to talk about it. So what I would do from here, we've narrowed down what we're looking for. We got pretty specific on that, and have a small list, which can be good or bad. It's going to be hard. Honestly, it's going to be hard to extract leads from that single list. But that's when I would probably just use cold callers, because I've had good experience with that. And if you're listening to this and this is the list I pulled for you, hit me up. I'll just have my people cold call it for a day, because it's probably a day or two of calls, and then anything we get, I'll just send to you. But for cold calling, I could do a whole probably hour talk on this, because I've been in the weeds of setting it up. The tools I like, if you're doing kind of just one-off, you have one cold caller, I really like Deal Machine. It's simple, super easy to set up, super easy to use, and it has a lot of really cool features, AI kind of stuff. If you're building on a team, I like Mojo. It's just better for managing more people. So those are both. If you're doing the dialer route, Deal Machine's like $100 a month. Mojo, it depends on what you do. It's like 100 to 150. So if you're just doing small stuff, Deal Machine's the way to go. Both of them, have skip tracing. So when you pull these lists, then you're going to need phone numbers. So, traditionally you would go to a skip tracing provider, but Deal Machine now includes that in their product. Mojo has it for like $50 a month. So, you found what you're looking for. You narrowed that down. You pulled that list. You got the phone numbers for it, and now, you just need people to dial it. You can dial it yourself, which that's what you're into. Good for you. That's not me. I'm not cold calling people. I'm gonna, hire cold callers. So, just quickly, a few places where I like getting cold callers, or virtual assistants in general. Upwork's probably the easiest. It's also the most expensive I've found. But for something like this, literally it's like a day of work. So you could go on Upwork, have someone call this for a day or two. I don't know, you're probably going to pay probably more than that. Probably like $6 to $10 an hour to find someone with experience to cold call this list. The next place, probably my favorite place to source VAs is VPM Solutions, and that's going to be probably, $5 to $8 an hour, depending on the experience of the person. And then the place that I source a lot is just online.ph, which is like the Indeed of the Philippines, and there's a lot less structure, there's a lot more qualifying people. It's kind of like the Wild West, but you can get VAs for $3 an hour to up to whatever, right? So it's hard to find quality at that price point, but it can be done. So then you hire a VA, you set them with the caller, they call through this. I have scripts if you need those, and then hopefully they're going to produce leads. From there, this is you're going to get. Hopefully with a list like this, you would get a few. Who knows? But someone's going to indicate, hey, I want to sell. That's when you're just going to hop on the phone with them. And this is where, be super honest, right? Like, if you're, especially if you're doing this as a one-off, like, hey, I want to buy my first property, or I want to buy this property for a gym or for my nonprofit or whatever, lean into that. So I would call the seller, because a lot of times, especially on a industrial or storage or whatever, it's more mom and pop owned. They've probably owned it 20 or 30 years. A lot of times people it's not emotional like a house, but they want to help people, right? So if you have a cool idea of, hey, I have this nonprofit, we're going to house out of here and we just need a property, tell people that, lean into that. And then, honestly, just have a conversation, and then if you need help figuring out what you should pay for it or whatever, let me know. But that's how I would approach those if I had a list and said, hey, I want to buy this type of property in this area. I maybe don't have a ton of experience doing this. That's kind of step, A to Z, how to do that. And then, of course, once you, get a deal, it's all a matter of getting under contract. I mean, there's a lot more to it that I'm probably making sound really simple. But any of that stuff you need help with, hit me up. Honestly, it'd just be cool if someone listened to this and it worked. So that's kind of the quick and simple process of, how we establish our marketing now. And then, we're just doing that at a bigger scale. So that's how, if I'm looking for a specific property, how I do it. If this is you I'm talking to, this is your list I just pulled, hit me up. I'll have my callers do it for you and just pass you over leads and kind of help you hopefully get a deal closed and, kind of find what you're looking for. If this is helpful, share it with someone. Let me know if you like this kind of format that's more, tactical, like, hey, this is a specific thing we're going to walk through. And because honestly, these are fun for me, but I don't know if they're helpful for other people. So let me know if you like it. As always, like, subscribe, share, tag me and stuff if you're sharing on Instagram. All this stuff's super helpful, and I appreciate it. So looking forward to your feedback. Hopefully this is helpful. Hopefully this can kind of point in the direction of getting deals and where to start if you don't know where to start. I'll see you guys on Monday.